sports, we lead with football. Defending champions Elite FC booked a spot in the semi-finals of the Digicel Knockout Cup this past weekend. Midfielder Rene Carter putting away a penalty in Elite's 2-0 victory over Sunset at the Edbush Sports Centre. Last year, Elite whipped Scholars International to win the knockout final, and they move on to this year's semi-finals after Sunday's victory. Joining them will be Bordentown FC, who created the season's biggest upset, a 2-1 victory over previously undefeated Scholars International. Goals from Luigi Hernandez and a late strike from Jerome Graham, giving Bordentown the victory, knocking Scholars from their perch at the top of the competition. Georgetown moves on after getting by Roma on penalties after a 3-3 full and extra time score. Georgetown's experience came through in the penalty shootout, winning 4-2. Tigers also advanced to the semis after a 3-2 victory over Future. Now to some cricket news. A brave performance from a depleted West Indies bowling unit wasn't enough to topple Australia in the second test. It was an eventful day in Adelaide. The Aussies picked up the last two West Indies wickets in their second innings quite easily, dismissing the Caribbean side for 312. Captain Chris Gayle coming unbeaten on 165. The West Indies immediately put pressure on the Aussies with some disciplined bowling. Dwayne Bravo picking up 3 wickets. The Caribbean side looked on course for victory when the Aussies were reduced to 139 for 5. But an unbeaten half-century from Vice-Captain Michael Clarke saw the Australians through to the end. The Aussies surviving a tough match and still hold the advantage in the series. The third test bowls off Wednesday, December 16th in Perth. Back home, Barbados and Guyana advanced to the Clico 2020 Challenge Cup final after last weekend's semi-finals at Smith Road. The Bajans in the yellow beating the World Stars by 16 runs. Batting first, Barbados posted 135 for 3 with Ryan Bovell hitting 40. Then a 5-wicket haul from Dave Cumberbatch helped Barbados limit the Stars to 119. They move on to meet Guyana in Sunday's final. The Guyanese support was out in full force last Sunday when they faced Jamaica in their semi-final. Jamaica took first knock and posted 127 for 8. That wasn't enough against a solid Guyanese batting lineup led by Alistair Eiffel's unbeaten 66. The Guyanese coast to victory by 4 wickets. Also last Sunday, it wasn't just a day for the adult marathoners. 160 children of all ages lined up outside the glass house for the Kids Fun Run. And before our photographer Leighton Peterson could get to the finish line, several of the future marathoners had already crossed in impressive fashion inside 6 minutes, which is quite speedy for the youngsters running the 1-mile distance. The future marathoners getting their awards after the race. And finally, the New Orleans Saints and Indianapolis Colts remain undefeated after Week 13. Stop pumping your fist, John Foster. The Colts ended the Tennessee Titans' 5-game win streak with a 27-17 triumph. Indianapolis records its 21st consecutive regular season win, tying the mark set by the New England Patriots. In Washington, the Redskins came the closest this season to knocking Drew Brees and the Saints off their unbeaten perch, leading 30-23 late in the fourth quarter. Saints quarterback masters a game-tying drive rather, before going into overtime and closing out a tough victory, 33-30. Looking at this week's Pro Football Mania, 5 winners went 14-2. Just a few weeks left to play in the Pro Football Mania. To place your picks, sign up on our website, cayman27.com.ky.